What's up, everybody? It's Lynn X here, and we're back with another interview. Today, we're going to be sitting with Virginia engineer and producer Esquire. Before we get started, if you're not already subscribed to our channel, I need you to turn that button red to stay tapped in for more dope interviews. Now, let's get into it. Yeah, thank you for your time. Definitely appreciate it. It's cool to see your studio. I love it.
Oh yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. You go live a lot. It's a different angle to see it at.
Right. Definitely.
But all right, so let's get into it. Where are you from, and how did you end up in Virginia?
Okay, so I'm originally from Alabama. I ended up in Virginia. I did a stint overseas for a little bit, military, and now I'm in Virginia. Loving it. I've been up here now about 12 years now.
Oh.
So yeah, it's been dope. Show a lot of love out here and meet a lot of dope artists out here. So
how is it for you being in Virginia musically? I feel like a lot of artists that I talk to, well, not a lot, but some of them who are based in Virginia right now, they feel like there's like not a whole lot going on like for artists and opportunity wise. So how do you kind of feel about like that opinion and working professionally from that area? Because you've been very successful. So
yeah, I mean, I won't. That notion that there's no opportunity and things like that, there's always opportunity out there. I always feel like it's really up to each individual to really, if you have that go-getter attitude, I mean, you will find those opportunities, or you will find a way to get to those opportunities. Out here, I mean, DC is not far. Philly's not far. New York is not far. I mean, even if you can't, make it happen where you are, there are always places that you can, migrate, and not necessarily migrate, but go to kind of make some things shake and kind of network. So there's opportunity everywhere. You could be in New Mexico. I know people in New Mexico with opportunity. So, there's never an excuse.
no, absolutely. If you're hungry, you're gonna eat. Like
Right.
you're gonna find a way to make that happen for sure. And Virginia is really just a train ride away from
It
a
is.
lot of major cities, and that train is cheap. So
Yeah.
it is. But so how did you get into music? Did you start immediately with production, or did you start playing instruments or singing? Or
A long time ago, I was a singer. Long time ago, but that was my start. I did the R&B thing for a little bit. This is 2005, 2004, 2005 time frame. So yeah, it's been a while. But with production, it was more so about. It was hard for me as an artist to find producers that at that time frame genuinely cared about me as an artist and were willing to take my ideas and to try to create them on their own. So I just took a step out and just decided to do it myself. Um, Now that I'm fully doing it, I mean, I definitely appreciate it. I didn't think that I would be doing it like I'm doing it now, but it's definitely been a journey. I don't see me going back into the artist side. I dip every now and then and do little reference tracks, but to do it full time, I mean, I prefer to be on the the background and kind of see things flourish.
yeah, absolutely. That's dope. So, how has Virginia's roster of successful creatives kind of influenced you and your creative side?
Well, in terms of production, I mean, Virginia is the hub of some of the best producers you'll ever even hear, with the Timberlands and the Pharrells, and even shouts out to Missy's and with Teddy Riley being based out in the 757. It's so much history just in this area, in this state, in the DMV in general, that is so easy to soak up, and gravitating and learning about the go-go scene and so many legends that have just taken that approach in. Like I wasn't much of a drummer, but living out here and listening to the Go-Go's and listening to a lot of the culture, because DC has its own culture, DMV has its own culture, it's definitely helped to migrate my sound, to grow my sound. So it's a lot out here, a lot of sound. I mean, there's always, like they say, something in the water. There's definitely something in the water here musically. A hell of a lot of talent. It's just everywhere.
Absolutely. And I noticed that you work with a lot of different artists across genres. So do you have like a favorite style to work with?
You put me on the spot. So favorite style, I mean, I always try to stay open-minded with my sound. Like to be stuck in a box to say, hey, I'm a R&B producer, or I do trap, or I do pop. I'm trying to define Esquire. Like, I want to define me as a producer, and I want to be involved in every genre. Before I'm going off this earth, I mean, I do want to do a folk song. I want to do as much as I can to make a mark.
Absolutely. So when were you signed to Sony and Beat Stars, and what changed for you after that?
So now I am about 8 months in now. It was shaky at first. Yeah, thank you. It was shaky at first because I didn't know what I was really jumping into, but they have definitely, it's definitely been a solid step for me to take from a production standpoint with, so many opportunities being pushed your way with artists to be able to send things out to. So, it's always something major for a producer to have those publishing deals and those opportunities just there. And it's not even just that, it's like when I got that opportunity, it's like more just opened up and more people just kind of started reaching out. So 8 months now, it's a year deal. And after that year, I can figure out if I want to re-up or not. So
Yeah, that's dope though. Congratulations again. That's a really great opportunity for sure. And moving on to another big accomplishment, talk to me about Trilogy Sound Studios and being the head of production there.
Yes, ma'am. So Trilogy now, we've been open now fully, officially, publicly for about 3 months now. We had a whole year worth of rebranding and trying to get everything situated with that. When they gave me the opportunity to be head of production, I'm humbled, to be able to have this role, to help the studio out any way possible. We have so many dope artists and creators that come in daily that I'm able to meet and talk with and really get to learn. And it's definitely a different approach than that producers that you think when you kind of just in the room and you make the beats and this and this. Now you got to kind of take a different public approach to the production side. So Trilogy is a very dope place to work. I mean, woman-owned, veteran-owned, solid team. I mean, I couldn't be anywhere else.
That's dope. Big congratulations. A lot of blessings your way for sure. So I saw on your Instagram a comment that you had made in I think it was like an interview for Trilogy, talking about artist development and producers kind of taking on that role. I feel like for a while, especially in school, they kind of teach you that at least used to be attributed to A&Rs and whatnot. So when did you kind of notice that shift, and what value do you see in that relationship? Because I feel like there's a lot of opportunity, even more so in that relationship. So what's your opinion on that?
So early in, I was very ill towards the A&R approach. But through growth and in meeting a few A&Rs and seeing that there are some out there still that are doing their job, you know what I mean? And it's not saying that producers should be heavily relying on finding those artists, but as a producer, you are pretty much first line. We are, a lot of us are picky with who we work with, or a lot of us are very selective in terms of sound and things like that. And for the producers that have been successful, that you know, made a mark in promoting and pushing these artists like Timbaland and Aaliyah's, or you know, Tim and Missy's with the whole production group they did. Pharrell with working with so many artists that pushed it to the forefront via the sound that they created collectively from beginning to end. So that remark was in terms of that. Like a lot of us take for granted what we really do. Even when that new artist walks in the studio and that's your first time meeting them, and you know you never know what that relationship or that meeting could escalate to down the road. You know, I've worked with a few that you know it was brand new coming in. Hey, I want to rap, or hey, I want to sing, and then you mold and they're molding you and helping create a sound for yourself. And humbly just seeing it just fluctuate and grow to you getting invited to a showcase and performing in front of at least 100 or 200 people when you remember that time frame when they, you know, weren't at that point. So we definitely play that role. And I would hope that most other producers would realize that we play a very important role in music in general. We do get the short end of the stick most times, but you know, it's definitely a work in progress. And those opportunities to be able to mold an artist is definitely a big thing to do. So
Absolutely. So who are some of the artists that you've been working with recently? And because I know you're not really just a producer, you record, I know you mix and master too, right? So you're an engineer and everything, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see, man, on the spot again with names. You good, Lynn, you good. So you know, lately I've been doing a lot of remixes, also trying to tap in on that. So with a couple artists in Canada. But even here in VA, you got my guy Nico Fiend, Lucy J. A lot of artists on my recent album that I released, a compilation album. John Fier in Germany, Maestro in Panama, Bahrain, Mark Fernando in South America. The list is like it's and I put that on myself because I enjoy reaching out to just randoms and just building that relationship with them and really getting to work and just watching the floor. So
yeah, absolutely. So the last question I have for you is, what is in the future for you? I know you have music and a collaborative album, and I did see the remix, which is super, super dope. But what's in the future for you?
Future, and I'm one on like positive affirmations. I have my Grammy up here, you know, by the end of next year. By the end of next year, I see myself at that point. You know, for doing this for so long and putting in that over 10,000 hours and really still consistently doing it, I definitely see my name in the stars also up there as a producer. So future, that is definitely my go-to. That's my push. So
Absolutely. And I'm all about affirmations. We're going to manifest that here. Your Grammy, your star next year. For sure. But thank you so much for speaking with me. I definitely appreciate your time. And we're going to link your pages and your website and everything to the interview so that all the viewers can follow you and stay tapped in with you and your moves.
I appreciate that, Ms. Lynn. Thank you for reaching out. All right. Definitely don't be a stranger. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. I will not. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you so much.
All right. No problem. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye.